A lot of people believe people want them to fail. Sometimes you see it on their WhatsApp status, on their post on X or Instagram. There's this idea about having haters. But there are so many people who want bad things to happen to them or to us. That hasn't been my experience. I believe that most people want you to win or want us to win. About 4 months ago, when I decided to, or I succeeded in quitting my job to do two things. So the first was to start this YouTube channel and also to have a business that will be making bespoke suits, blazers, and kaftans, so a clothing business. Someone sent me a very nice message. She didn't have to do it. In fact, she's not close to me. She's a sister of a friend. But as I said, we are not close. We are cordial, but she's not my friend. But she was rooting for me. She told me I should really go for it. And that oftentimes in life, we don't really go for our goals. A lot of people don't try to achieve their audacious goals. She was telling me that she knew that the road would be bumpy, but that I should stick to it. So I'm feeling bad right now because for more than a month, I haven't posted anything on YouTube. Am I disappointed her? I guess I am. Disappointed myself too. In the very first video I posted, I mentioned the fact that I've been wanting to create a YouTube channel for 3 solid years. And this is crazy. Every single day when I wake up, I'm thinking, what am I doing about it? What are you doing about it? And that's how I felt as I haven't posted every single day. And this isn't something that I just wanted to do but I'm doing it because I believe I have a message that I want the world to hear. This sounds egotistical, but I believe this is true. And my message, if I'm summing it up, would be that we should strive to do great things. And we should also strive to learn from the best. And I believe that the methods the best of our species, the best of human beings use to achieve their great feats are available. I believe this with all my heart. And we can find them mostly from books. And there's a problem now because we are on social media all the time. It takes too much of our time. In the short term, this new media seems more engrossing, more entertaining, but it has disastrous long-term consequences. In fact, I dare say the short-term and medium-term consequences are huge. Because sit down and ask yourself, you've been scrolling, you've been on TikTok, Facebook, what did you learn? And your answer will be nothing. Most of the time, after the experience, after doom scrolling, after scrolling for no reason, you feel terrible. I'm guilty of this too. You feel like life just went away. Maybe it's different for you, but at least that's how I feel. And that's how I always feel when I scroll social media. So this is the message that I want to share. That I want to share those methods, the ones we can learn from books, and actually encourage people to read wholesale. And another goal is to share my journey as I go about the business, the struggles, and to share those stories that I've mentioned, that's the story about the greats that will lead us to the right path. I'm learning myself. It's not that I've found the way. Right now I'm broke, but we are all learning. And I believe that as we're on this journey together, in the long term, we'll learn lessons that will make our lives way lots better. And me seeing me now not working on the goal that I'm supposed to work on, it's been over a month since I posted anything on YouTube. I feel very terrible. And this experience with the lady buttresses my point that people want you to succeed. At least she wanted me to succeed, and I've seen so many people like that. I found someone after my heart recently. I got to know him through Chris Williams's podcast, Modern Wisdom. He is called Jet Franzen. I hope hope I'm not butchering his name. But this guy, I'm jealous of this guy. I'm being honest. He is doing exactly what I would love to do. He's got a YouTube channel, and on his YouTube channel, he posts videos. Video length will be say 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes max. He's more like an essayist, but I believe he's using the YouTube channel to share the essays. So he records them kind of long form, 20 minutes, as I mentioned, 10, 15. So I go on this guy's TikTok, and the posts are endless. I scroll for minutes, and I can't get to the end of his post. And I was listening to him talk to Chris Williamson, and I realized that he's been able to become bigger, even get to Chris Williamson's podcast because of over executing. He mentioned that as he started, there are days he will post 10 times. Now let me go back a little. When you check his YouTube too, he posts daily, and there are days that he would post more than once. So this really confirmed that he's executing like crazy. The guy is living my dream. I saw one of his TikTok posts, and he said something to the effect that when you have a dream or when you see a possibility, you can't unsee it. So if you realize that, say, let me use myself as an example. As my interest has grown in YouTube, the fact that I came to that conclusion that YouTube as a platform will be useful for me to disseminate or to share my ideas, to share the mental models of the greats on how they became great. I can't unsee that, and my conscience won't let me be. That's why when I thought of starting the channel for 3 consecutive years, I was thinking about it. My conscience was hitting me every single day, and I can't unsee the work Gent Franzen has done. And I keep thinking this could have been me. So the actual quote from his TikTok account is, "There is no peace for the man who has seen what he could become." And there's another story. There's a book I read some time back. The title is The Road Less Stupid. The writer shares a story in it about a man who goes to a retreat and meets another man. And the man is literally all he wishes to have been. And he said that's the writer of the book says, that's the definition of hell. So the definition of hell is to meet someone you could have been and you were not that person, because you feel that maybe you didn't work enough. And there are a lot of ways I'm going through hell right now because I know exactly what I have to do, and I'm not doing it. So I have to reset, reprioritize. So Jet, in his conversation with Chris Williamson, mentions exactly the things he does. And I've already mentioned some. The fact that he posts like crazy. He's just posting. He's very consistent. And the question is, why is he sharing this? Have you asked yourself why? If you are like me, you're asking yourself the same question. He's doing well for himself. His channel has a good number of subscribers. His posts are viewed pretty widely. So you think that other people would be his competition, right? Why is he sharing what is making him succeed? He says himself that a year ago he was sleeping on someone's couch. But he's able to effect this change because he's over executing. He's been very consistent. And see where he is now. So why is he doing this? It's because he wants others to do wrong, just like him. It's because he wants others to win. He wants you and I to win. He has seen a light and he can't help but share it. And that's the whole idea. Someone makes so much money, someone does great feats, and the person does crazy things, and the person will write a book. Why do they do those things? Is it to self-aggrandize? I don't think so. Not necessarily. I mean, part of it. But the person has already made it. Why should they care? It's because people want you to win. They want us to win. Alex Homozy is a typical example of someone who wants others to win. In fact, he has shared in interviews that he wants to train 100,000 men to make at least $100,000 before he dies. I feel Alex's main message on how to achieve financial goals, or that particular financial goal, is that people do a lot of volume. I listened to Alex on Modern Wisdom, and now he has coined a phrase. He says violence is the answer. And you see Alex's body is jacked, and he utters those words, violence is the answer. The entire experience is violence. My understanding of violence is the answer is something I've already mentioned, that you should do a lot of volume. So you should do so much volume that will literally be impossible for you to fail. So you've done all the work. You've solved all the equations. How do you fail now? It will be impossible. I remember not too long ago, Alex Hormoz's wife, Leila Hormozi, made a post on X to the effect that if there is a 1 in 100 chance that you achieve a particular result and you try about 100 times, the likelihood that you achieve the result will be 100%. The emphasis was on volume, and she was corrected that that is not how probability works. And also corrected her, showed her that the right answer will be somewhere around 96%, if I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly. And I was thinking, well, 96% is almost 100%. So in some sense, she's not wrong. But the concept is very interesting. Is that you do so much that it's impossible for you to fail. That you keep trying. And if you keep trying, at some point, you get things right. Because you're always correcting your mistakes. And that is the meta message, and it is true. Now, I've mentioned this so many times, but I believe that it bears repeating because it's a very important detail. It's a very important thing for us to understand. On this same tangent of people wanting us to succeed, as I've started the suit kaftan blazer business, the clothing business, I've had a number of people make stuff for them, and I believe it's solely because they want me to do well. They want me to succeed. They feel like if someone even told me, he said he thought what I was doing was good, that I wasn't lazing around, I wasn't adding myself to the unemployment statistic, I was trying to do something for myself. So he ordered for a suit. I made it for him, and he paid me cash. No stories. And I remember when I was in my teens, there was a time I was selling shoes. I've done things. And in my house, we had a tenant. I told him about the business. He was interested. He bought a shoe. Unfortunately, the shoe wasn't a good shoe. He wore it, and after a few wears, it was in very terrible shape. He told me about it. He showed me the shoe, and I saw the problem. And you know what he did? He ordered for another one. It shocked me because you would think someone has bought something from you, the thing is not in the best condition, it's not the best quality. Why would the person order from you again? Same thing, he wanted me to do well. And this isn't something that people often say, but you see it through their action. He wanted to give me another chance. He wanted me to have another try, another go at it. But this reminds me of a story that Jensen Juan shared on the Joe Rogan Experience. He mentioned that at some point in the NVIDIA story, now NVIDIA will be, if not the most valuable company in the world, it will be in top 5. At some point, NVIDIA was doing some business with Sega when NVIDIA was very small. And Sega is a Japanese company. Sega makes games, so they were helping Sega with a console. And they realized that what they were supposed to, NVIDIA realized that what they were supposed to deliver to Sega didn't work. But NVIDIA needed the money. So they let Sega understand this. So it's more like, you've paid me to render you a service. I realize I can't render the service, but I need the money. You've already paid me for the service. And I can't guarantee that whatever I'm using the money for, I will succeed and be able to return your money to you. And in a conversation with Joe Rogan, there's a one mentioned that he came to the conclusion that the CEO of Sega liked him. And that's why he gave him the chance. But I believe it goes beyond being right. I think the CEO, actually wanted Jensen and Nvidia to succeed, because he could have called for his money. He was in the he was in the right. He had the right to get the company's money back, but he didn't do it because he wanted Nvidia to succeed. And I absolutely believe in this. People want us to succeed, just like Shochiro Rimajiri wanted Jensen to succeed. I know I've destroyed the name. I've destroyed the name of the former CEO of Sega. So that's it for today. Cheers.